A very good morning, class 10 students. So, we discussed two very important laws in our previous lecture. That is the law of dominance, right? Law of dominance, as well as we talked about law of segregation in our previous lecture, if I am not wrong, right? You already know that. And we explained them with the help of a cross which is known as monohybrid cross. Today I am taking you towards the another law, which is another very important law, that is the law or the principle of independent assortment. Independent assortment. Now, law of independent assortment, it can be very easily it can be explained with the help of dihybrid cross. Dihybrid cross is what means we are going to talk about now two characters, right? Or you can say two traits. It's in the monohybrid cross, we talked about only one trait at a time. What does this last state actually? It says that inheritance of one character is always independent of inheritance of other character present within the same individual. Try to understand these lines. We have written it in a very easy language for you. It states that inheritance of one character. Suppose I am taking one character as the height, right? Height, you know that either it can be tall or it can be dwarf. Am I right? Yes. Now it is totally independent of the shape of seed, which can be round, which can be wrinkled. So this law of independent assortment says that inheritance of height is totally independent of inheritance of the shape of the seed, but they are present in the same plant. So it means they are independent of each other in their expression. Are you getting my point? This shape of the seed does not affect on the inheritance of tallness, and tallness does not affect the inheritance of the shape of the seed. They both are independent of each other. So what is the another way to express this? That if the inheritance of more than one character is studied simultaneously, what is we doing? We are studying height and shape of the seed together. The factors or the genes which for each character they assort out independently to another gene or factor, means they are completely independent of other factor, right? Assort out means they are like totally independent. It does not mean that they are going to affect each other. Basically they uh, definitely they are placed, these genes they are placed together, but they are independent in their expression. अगेन एक बार फिर से देखेंगे. इफ द इनहेरिटेंस ऑफ मोर देन वन कैरेक्टर इज स्टडीड साइमल्टेनियसली. आप यही कर रहे हो, आप हाइट को भी स्टडी कर रहे हो एंड शेप ऑफ द सीड को भी स्टडी कर रहे हो. सो नाउ वी आर टेकिंग टू कैरेक्टर्स. द फैक्टर्स और द जीन्स for each character they are present or assort out independently to the other gene. मतलब टॉल का राउंड के साथ कोई लेना देना नहीं है. इट डज नॉट डिपेंड, टॉलनेस डज नॉट डिपेंड ऑन द राउंड shape of the seed. They both are independent of each other. So very good example to explain law of independent assortment is Mendelian dihybrid cross, right? I'm taking here parents, we are taking here is, you can take any combination which can be asked in exam, but you can take an we have taken here round green and wrinkled yellow, right? This suggests that the genes for the shape of the seed and color of the seed, they are assorted out independently, they are placed independently in the organism, they are do not dependent on each other, right? So basically now let's see how to write their genotype. Genotype का मतलब क्या होता है? We have to write down their abbreviation, right? So let's see how to write. Round is first. Let's see who is dominant. First is the shape of the seed, round and wrinkled. Let's see who is dominant. Round is dominant, so we will take abbreviation of this, and they never occur in single, तो हमेशा पेयर में ही लिखना है. Next, green and yellow. Out of this, which color of the, what is the color of the seed which is dominant? We know that the yellow is dominant over the green. So here we will write RR because yellow is dominant. So we have to put YY, and here for green we will be writing this. Parents are ready? Right. Now let's make the gametes. Okay. So here you can see that what can be written are but because see the same, they all are same, right? This is also same, so R Y Y. So the ultimately the gametes will be capital R small y, and here small r capital Y, right? Because only they are both are same, so a capital R will come. Now when you will cross them, so what will be the F1 generation? Offsprings in F1 generation, when you cross them, R R Y Y, हमेशा ऐसे ही लिखना है, डोमिनेंट रिसेसिव, डोमिनेंट रिसेसिव, राइट? हमेशा always you have to make this combination like this. सबसे पहले dominant, फिर recessive, फिर dominant, फिर recessive. So it means all the offsprings in F1 generation will be, all the plants you can say will be round seeds with yellow color. Am I right? They will be, क्योंकि round is dominant, it will not be able to, it will not allow the this wrinkled one to express. Yellow is dominant, it will not allow the green one to express. The second thing what we always do, self crossing of F1 generation. So let's make it self cross मतलब उसी को उसके साथ self cross कराना. Let's make it now. Now as you can see, this is little complicated, right? First you will take this and then combine with the another one, so it is going to take huge time of you, right? It is going to take lot of time. So what we will do, we will now going to learn a short trick to how to make gametes. For that you have to make a checker board as we did in monohybrid cross. So let's make a checkerboard, right? Here one thing, if it is a monohybrid cross, if, always remember few tricks, if it is a monohybrid cross, right? How many how many gametes are there? How many gametes will be there? There will be, we were having your 4 gametes, right? 4 gametes will be there. So for one trait 4 gametes will be there. In dihybrid cross, you are taking 2 characters, so just make it double. So it means you are going to get 8 gametes. तो आपके दोनों मेल प्लस फीमेल मिला के how many should be 8 gametes. Okay, so let's make it. In this way we will make male, here we will make female. Okay, so how to make this? Now that is a very interesting fact, how to make this. First write down the dominant of first character. What is the dominant? Round seeds. Round seeds. 2 hai, so we will write 2 times. What is the recessive of round? Wrinkled. We have written it. Now, what is the second trait which is dominant? Yellow color. That is the dominant and this is the second trait. It is dominant. So you will write dominant, recessive. Dominant, recessive. So your 4 gametes are ready, and just you don't have to do anything. You have to just copy the same gametes on the second side. So your whole 8 gametes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they are ready. Let's see one more time what we have done. We have taken R, R, Y, Y. We have self crossed them. Say cross name is dihybrid cross. We are taking 2 characters. So the gametes which will be formed, that will be your, अगर 1 में 4 फॉर्म हो रहा है, 4 gametes बन रहे हैं, तो 2 में कितने बनेंगे? 8. राइट, 2 will form 8 gametes. So इनको बनाना कैसे है? If you are going to cross it, you can do that, but it is going to take a very long time in your exam, right? So first character and take the dominant part. So we have taken the same thing. Let's see it again. R, R, right? We'll write its recessive version. R, R. Now take the second character. And you have to write down dominant, recessive, dominant, recessive. So Y, small y, capital Y, small y. So just copy all these 4 in this. Now, what you have to do, because we have to find out the genotypic, not the genotypic, phenotypic ratio also. So now just cross it. R, R, Y, Y, R, R, Y, Y. Capital R, small r, Y, Y. Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Capital R, Y, small y. Capital R, Y, Y. मैं कुछ नहीं, I am just crossing this with this, right? R, R, Y, Y. Then capital R, capital small y, small y. Capital R, small r, capital Y, capital Y. Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Small r, Y, Y, Y. Right? Small r, Y, Y. Capital R, capital Y, small y. Capital R, small y, small y. Small r, capital Y, small y. Small r, capital Y, capital. Basically, you have to cross this one with this one every time, right? Now, how to find the phenotypic ratio? First thing, you have to tell us how many are round yellow, right? The second thing, you have to tell how many are round green, right? Third thing, you have to tell, or you have to find out how many are wrinkled yellow. And the last, we will find out how many are wrinkled green. Fine. Okay. So these we have to see. How many will be round yellow? Let's use the color yellow. Round yellow. It means round it should be having 1 R, that will be round. It should have 1 Y at least. Will this be yellow? Am I right? Yes, it will be yellow. इसमें तो सारा ही dominant है. Will this be yellow? Will this be yellow? Yes, this will be round yellow. What about this? This will be also round yellow. What about this? This will be also round yellow. This is also having 1 R, capital Y. Here, no capital Y, so this will not be round yellow. This one will be round yellow. What about this? This one will be round yellow. Again, this one will be also round yellow. What about anyone else? Yes, this one will be round yellow. So the ratio, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they are 9. Now let's find out round green. Means 1 capital R and 1 2 small y. Because green if has to express the 2 small y we need. This one will be round green. Am I right? This one will be round green. Yes. What else? What else? This one will be round green. So how many will be round green? 1, 2, 3. So right here 3. How many is going to be wrinkled yellow? Wrinkled is recessive. So means 2 small r we need and 1 capital Y. This is going to be wrinkled yellow. This is going to be wrinkled yellow. This one is going to be wrinkled yellow. So 1, 2, 3. So 3 will be wrinkled yellow. What about the wrinkled green? Only 1. Because in this we need 2 RR, 2 YY. So that only will be wrinkled green. That will be 1. And this ratio is our phenotypic ratio. And what is the phenotypic ratio which is come out to be here? 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. Right? No one will ask you about the genotypic ratio in this cross because that is little very complicated one. So only you will be asked about this phenotypic ratio, and which is 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. What about the monohybrid cross ratio? As you know that the phenotypic ratio which was come out to be, that was 3 is to 1, and genotypic ratio there was, that was the 1 is to 2 is to 1. But in dihybrid cross we only always find out the phenotypic ratio which will be 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1, and it will be, if you have made your gametes correctly, you have made your checkerboard correctly, then your ratio can never go wrong. Right? This is the best way to draw any if suppose this is the we have taken round with the yellow color. Even if in the exam the tall with the round seeds, right, they are crossed with the dwarf and wrinkle, still you can also find out that the same ratio will be observed. When you can try this cross your own and you can make the gametes, right? You can find out the gametes, when you cross it, when you do the self crossing after F1 generation, please try to make the gametes. 8 gametes will be formed, right? And that you can try by your own. So this is about the very important question, that is monohybrid and dihybrid cross with the help of law of independent assortment, which states that inheritance of one character is totally independent of inheritance of other characters present within same individual. So go through this video very carefully. I am very confident you will be able to draw this dihybrid cross very by your own with the phenotypic ratio 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1, right?